I remember specifically specific games we'd play. Like he would, I don't know, me and my brothers, obviously we're all boys, so it's like rough play. So he would like tackle us and try and hold us down and, you know, just be pushing us and, you know, trying to hold the door closed while we're trying to escape and whatever. Just, you know, pretty much traditional games that a father would play with their sons. He seemed to always want to make us happy, make, you know, me happy. From what I remember, he would bring, you know, we lived in New Jersey, so he'd bring home like authentic pizza for us, and he would always be happy with us while we're happy, you know, eating pizza and things like that. I was 4 years old. My older brother Brandon was probably 6 at the time. Tyler was 3. My youngest brother had just been born. And it was around this time, like I said, you know, our heater broke in our house, so he came home early to try and fix it, to try and help us, you know, not, you know, freeze, you know, with my sister having pneumonia. So he comes home. I guess he just, you know, started settling in from work, so he was in the bathroom, maybe, I don't know, you know, just doing whatever you do when you get home from work. My mom was just washing dishes in the kitchen, and we were just home, you know, too young for school, so we were just home playing, doing whatever. And she was doing the dishes, and she heard like a bang, just like a, you know, thud. And it's so weird, like, it's just weird, like, when you barely, like, really talk about it or think about it. I don't know, I guess, you know, I keep my eyes on, like, the positive side of things, but it's just hard to, you know, really for the first time, walk through the whole story. So she goes to the bathroom, and she told me like she opened the door. I think she told me like the way he had fallen, it was hard to open the door because he was blocking the door. So she like opens the door, just sees him laying on the floor. So I think I do remember seeing like, you know, some sort of person in a uniform in our house. And, you know, whether it was that instance or not, I do remember seeing, you know, like ambulance lights outside my house. And now that I'm vocalizing the story really for one of the first times ever, I'm thinking, you know, that memory is probably associated with this. But so he's just, you know, passed out at this point. Gets taken to the hospital, and you know, they tried to save him. They tried to do what they could. It was just a out of nowhere brain aneurysm, completely unforeseen. Could have never ever expected that. So you know, at that point, obviously he's gone, and I remember staying at my dad's sister's house for some time after that. And from there, one night we went to, I guess it was the funeral home, you know, where his body was. And I could actually see him, you know. And it's so crazy because, like, now I know what I saw then, but at that point, I literally remember standing there and thinking, like, he's sleeping. Some time passes by, and, you know, I guess you could say the recovery process had already begun, or because I was so young, it didn't take too long. So, you know, started going to, you know, Faith Kids here, and then Rapids, and then, you know, became good friends with Isaac, you know, Pastor Johnny's son, and, you know, because he played drums, he got me into drums. So I played drums, throughout middle school, and then once I got into high school, played for our high school services here, and eventually drums having kept me around, as my form of extracurricular ministry or whatever. Finished high school, did the internship program, 2 years of that, and here we go. My mom, obviously, on the end of my dad passing away, has 7 kids to raise, mostly boys, 2 girls, 5 boys, as a single mother. After my dad passed away, she really took on the role of, both in one. And now that I'm older, it's easier to see that and easier to recognize that, she really did that. But looking back through the years, it's there's so many characteristics that I still maintain, even though my father was taken from me at such a young age, that I believe are because she was so strong and she was so just conscious and aware of that we still needed those characteristics to be passed on to us. We were too young at the time to have fully taken in everything we needed from a father figure, and she still did her best to provide those as best she knew how. Whether that was physically disciplining us when we needed it, or making sure she wasn't too soft-spoken. She made sure that when she had a set of rules, or when she was disapproving of something, that she was very, very vocal about it, like a father would be. She was just, I guess the best way to put it, she was very wise and aware of that need, and she filled the need, I think, in the best way anybody could. Being frank means I understand that this hurts. I understand I might not want to be honest about it. I might not want to be so transparent, but I'm going to be frank. I'm going to choose to take this almost like it's my responsibility to take this and to share it and say, darkness isn't going to stay dark. Darkness it's not the end when it feels like the end. To me, that's what being frank is. It means being that bold, so bold enough to say this hurts, but it brings healing to someone else, and even to yourself, in sharing that and being open about that and being open about how God works through that. To me, that's what being frank is. Being frank is pushing past the pain because it can bring healing. My name is Jonathan Reyes, and I am Frank.